The Supreme Court is allowing a controversial Texas immigration law to take effect known as SB 4. The policy would allow officials to arrest, jail, and prosecute migrants suspected of crossing the border illegally. Its enforcement was initially blocked by Justice Alito, but has now been allowed to proceed as a lower court reviews its legality. CBS News immigration reporter Camilo Montoya-Galvez joins us now on the phone because he's reporting. He's on his way to the U.S.-Mexico border in Texas. Camilo, thank you, and I hope you're not actually driving. Remind us what the Biden administration argued in its argument against SB 4.
Good evening, John. Well, the Biden administration has denounced SB 4 as this far-reaching and unconstitutional attempt by Texas to challenge, in many ways, the federal government's longstanding power to set immigration policy and rules. The Justice Department has argued in court that immigration arrests and deportations, John, are federal responsibilities, and that SB 4 conflicts with federal laws, including U.S. asylum law, which, as you know, allows migrants who are physically on American soil to request protection. Texas, of course, cannot adjudicate asylum claims, John. The Department of Justice has also said that this state measure jeopardizes and harms relations with Mexico, which just today said that this law is anti-immigrant and that it will not accept the return of migrants from the state of Texas. It's important to underscore, John, that a lower court judge has already sided with the Biden administration and agreed that SB 4 is unconstitutional, but his ruling was by the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals. And today, the Supreme Court allowed that order from the Fifth Circuit to take effect, greenlighting effectively the implementation of SB 4.
And Camilo, just to go over this again, I know I ask you this so often, but when you talk about the conflict with other U.S. laws, when you talk about asylum laws, and the reason there's a federal role here, those asylum agreements are not just U.S. law, right? They're also agreements the United States has made with other countries with respect to treatment of asylum claimants. And so that's why there's a federal role here. Is that right?
That is correct. And the U.S. also needs the buy-in and collaboration of foreign governments to return migrants who are found ineligible for asylum to those places. The U.S. cannot simply just turn people back, especially third country nationals, to a foreign sovereign country without getting that government's permission. And Mexico right now only accepts the return of its citizens and a limited number of Venezuelans, Cubans, Haitians, and other migrants from other countries, but under an agreement with the federal government. The state of Texas obviously does not have a foreign ministry department that can broker these sort of agreements.
And so what happens now, Camilo, with the lower court and the adjudication of this?
Well, right now, John, the status quo is that the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals will be responsible for reviewing and ruling on the legality of SB 4. That appeals court in New Orleans has already set arguments in this case for the first week of April, so we should expect a ruling from that court after those arguments on April 3rd. But this case, John, could very well come back to the Supreme Court, and if it does, the High Court would rule on the merits of the case and have the final say on whether or not SB 4 is legal. Because, again, and I have to underscore this again, the order from the Supreme Court today is procedural. It is not weighing on the legality of the law.
Camilo Montoya-Galvez on the road and on the case for us. Thank you, Camilo.